You were signed by the Yankees, traded by the Yankees. I was originally with the Dodgers organization, and I know how I felt when I left the Dodgers organization. What was your first thought when you found out you were traded with the Yankees?
Yeah, it's a wild feeling, right, getting traded in baseball. Initially, I was, a little down about it, just 'cause I had so many friends around me, had so many relationships I had made. But then I was super thankful. I knew I had a great opportunity ahead of me. Yeah, it was a wild day and a wild feeling, and definitely one I won't forget.
I don't think you could have imagined that you'd have as much impact as you're having on the starting rotation. How have you taken all of the success that you're having early in the season? What's your plan to continue for the latter part of the season?
Yeah, it's a long year. I think I came into spring training really open-minded about what my job was going to be with the team. I knew I was ready to be a starter in the big leagues, but you never know what the plan is. So I just took it a day at a time and just tried to do my best, just being ready to pitch every day and trying to compete and get better every day somehow. And I think that's kind of what will carry me throughout the rest of the year. It's just like being out there and competing and really just trying to refine what I'm doing good, make it a little better, and then work on the things that I need to work on.
What are the things that you've tried to focus on each start to make you better?
As a left-handed pitcher, you're unique. I throw the ball decently well in the strike zone. I think that's the number one thing as a starting pitcher. You have to be in the zone. Just getting guys in advantage counts as a hitter makes hitting a lot easier. So pounding the zone, getting ahead of hitters, and just trying to get quick outs, trying to get out there early and make it to the 5th, 6th, 7th inning. I think that's an overlooked part of baseball nowadays. Is that because there's so many numbers out there and so many good bullpen arms you see nowadays to where guys don't make it as deep in the game. So I think that'll be another big goal of mine, is to see how deep I can get in each game in the second half, and just try and refine my pitches, just try and make them a little bit better. I'm just happy to be here with this opportunity to do that.
On the day that I started, my ritual was wake up, watch all my children, watch a show called Loving. So those are soap operas. You're too young to know that.
Okay.
I usually got to the ballpark an hour before the game started.
Okay.
What's your game day ritual?
So I try and keep it very simple. I have a routine, but I don't get too weird about it. Obviously, unless it's a day game, sleep as long as I can. And I eat the same breakfast, I will say, on start day. A pretty simple breakfast, just some eggs, bacon, some wheat toast, some fruit. Nothing really unusual, just something light on the stomach. Probably get here about 3.5 hours before the game starts. The only weird thing I will say is I'm weird about my fingernails. I like them to be cut the day before. Like I always cut them the day before I pitch. So that's kind of like a weird thing I say. Maybe superstitious thing. But other than that, it's just like I like to make sure I get a good sweat in the day before, just like a light workout. Day of, have that good breakfast, make sure I'm good and hydrated. And then just kind of like just put the music on in my ears and just try and get in that competition mode. I feel like, usually every day at the park I'm pretty light and easy to talk to. And not that I'm not on days that I pitch, but definitely those last 2 hours before the start, a little bit more locked in and just, focusing on the task at hand and just like getting in that go mode, that competition mode that, it's fun to be out there and doing that.
Thank you, man. I appreciate this opportunity speaking with you.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being a part of Field Vision.
Couple things. I feel like JP Sears was a little bit intimidated by Stu, right? That's a GOAT. Stu was given vibes, and Stu said he shows up to games an hour beforehand back in the day?
Well, hey, when you're the starting pitcher, you make your own rules. I like the fact that he was watching all my children in the afternoon.
I thought he was actually talking about his own kids, and then I realized, oh no, he means the soap opera.
Right.
As for JP Sears, going to make the start tonight, Bip, and you said there was something in just watching those clips right there that you like about him this season.
Yeah, he's getting better on the outside 5 inches of the plate on both sides of the plate, and I think that he's able to use those pitches there to keep hitters off balance, to keep hitters going after pitches that are not strikes. And because he's gotten better at that, he can now expand the plate. And so guys are chasing pitches that are not strikes. He just has to keep the ball from right down the middle, because we know out of his last 13 hits, 5 of them have been home runs.
I was just about to say.
He's got to keep the ball and keep using the outer 5 inches of the plate and the inner 5 inches of the plate.
So those last 13 hits that he has allowed, they come over a span of just 3 starts. And in those 3 starts, an 0-3 record, a 5.50 ERA, opponents in the last 3 games hitting just 197 off him. All those things are lining up for victories. He's not gotten any of those because, to your point, of the 13 hits, 5 dingers, 5 homers and 13 total hits. How do you change that? That's a freak thing right there.
It is. You just have to be good on those 7 inches in between the 5
There you
inches,
go,
right?
there you go.
And be able to change speeds. A lot of times, a guy will throw a breaking ball that ends up right down the middle, and those are the ones that get hit hard.
Another stat about those last 3 starts, the A's have been outscored 23-2 in those last 3 starts by Sears. Give the dude some run support today, please.